DT actually sneaking all the way into the main base. It looks like an Overlord is probably going to pop. Ooh, nice little move there by hero, putting down the lurkers on his ramp, morphing the lurkers on his ramp, that is, so that those zealots can't get in. Where was I going with this? High Templar, Dark Templar. My screen glitched out for a second, so I didn't see what happened with that DT in the main base of by hero, but it looks like he probably got killed off. Unfortunate. But really, that's what I expect. It's you're hardly ever going to get DTs to do huge damage in Protoss versus Zerg. It looks like SeCret is now trying to set up that third base over at that 9 o'clock position, which is very vulnerable, and it's at a very vulnerable time in this match where he does have High Templar now, and he's starting to build up a pretty good sized army. And the problem is that there are already lurkers on the field, and you know, by hero has just been able to mass up a pretty good amount of Zerglings. He's got, well, he had a lot of Hydralisks. They're mostly lurkers now, but that staging ground right above that 9 o'clock base and the high ground is just very powerful. Zerg can just flood in units, and Protoss have very little time to react. Zerglings coming all the way into the main base of SeCret, very determined, finding a path all the way into the main base. They're not going to be able to do much because, fortunately, SeCret does have a cannon in his mineral line in the main base, so that is cleared out, but impressive little maneuver there to get those Zerglings all the way in that far. Hydralisks coming out pretty late in the game. These, I've got to assume, are going to be for that High Templar sniping that I had been talking about in the Cal versus Type B game. Trying to focus down on any of these High Templars before they can cast any storms. Storms being dropped on those Mutalisks, a couple of them dying, actually all of them dying, being killed off by those Psy Storms. So nice Psy Storm placement. Being able to sort of predict where by hero is going to be moving those Hydralisks and able to wipe out that first group of about 4 Mutalisks. A second group is already built and on the way, and I'm sure those High Templar don't have any energy to continue that. Ooh, and those Mutalisks are actually going in for harassment. A little bit of a lapse in the defense right here for SeCret. He doesn't have a cannon within the mineral line of his natural expansion, so these Mutalisks being able to do more standard Zerg play and use those Mutalisks and just to attack the mineral line at the natural expansion, doing a lot of economic damage right here. By hero's already up 1 base, and yeah, well, actually, he might be even now. I'm not sure if he's taken that base over there at the 6 o'clock position. It looks like he might have. There is certainly a big green blob in that area. So I think by hero is still on 1 base more than SeCret is, so that economic damage is really just going to compound that fact. Zerg sort of need to be a base ahead just because of the nature of Zerg. They have to throw units away in order to do any damage, while the Protoss has more expensive units, but they can generally last longer. You know, being able to do that late, I mean, not really late game, but later than expected Mutalisk harassment is really putting by hero in a pretty big lead. However, SeCret coming in to negate that fact, trying to get a little bit of damage done here at the southeast base, and not going to be able to get up that ramp though. A couple of lurkers, some sunken colonies there to defend, and Mutalisks to back all of that up. SeCret has been able to deny the base in the 1 o'clock position from by hero just by having a couple of zealots in the area to pick off the drone that was trying to put a hatchery there, but he is still vulnerable to attack. This is what I'm talking about. That's the staging ground just outside that 9 o'clock base. Zerglings just coming in kind of piecemeal there and not doing much damage. Ooh, nice Side Storm wiping out about 8 Zerglings down there in the southeast. And that's really what SeCret needs to be doing. He needs to keep putting pressure on, and wow, the observers found a good screen full of Zerg units there. SeCret going in for a 4th base actually down in that 7 o'clock position, which is another pretty vulnerable position there for Protoss. It's pretty hard to defend. Meanwhile, Zerglings coming in, it looks like they are crack upgraded, which means that Hive Tech is already up. I saw the Queen's Nest being built, but I hadn't seen the Hive quite yet. But those Zerglings are attacking mighty fast, and that that Nexus goes down. So Haksu losing a base to a little bit of a timing tack. by.hero noticing that all of Haksu's units, aka SeCret, Haksu is SeCret. I kind of switch between those names sometimes, I'm sorry. You know, noticing that SeCret's army is down there in the southeast, excuse me, Hero just sending in tons of Zerg units into that 9 o'clock base and moving them all the way down into the natural expansion. He has a lot of Zerglings there, and SeCret really has to respond to this. That one cannon is definitely not going to be enough. Those Zerglings already surrounding the gateway there, probably going to be able to take out the gateway, and they are doing massive damage, catching even the probes that are being transferred over to the new base, and he might even be sending Zerglings into that new base. That's GG. There are just no defensive units around for SeCret. by.hero just all of a sudden pumping a ton of Zerglings and being able to just manhandle SeCret late in that game. So this is going to be going in for an ace match the second week in a row, and we are going to be moving to that directly.